Julian Fellows, though, has recently gone public about a condition he's been living with that at times has made it quite hard for him to work. He joins me now. So good to see you.
That's
really
nice
good to see you. Yeah. Now, we're talking about this tremor. That's something, yeah, tremor that so many people have, and nobody really, it's so common and nobody talks about it.
It's very strange. Nobody talks about it, but also nobody's ever heard of it.
No.
It's called an essential tremor, and as you can see, my hands are shaking.
Yeah.
If I tried to pick that up, it would go like that.
Wow.
It gets better and worse. You know, it's gone worse in the morning, and but actually it's better when you've had a drink, which is an interesting detail. But no, a lot of people have it, and yet no one's ever heard of it. Everyone's heard of Parkinson's, but far fewer people have that. And what I'm anxious to do is to get it out there so that when people, hopefully people watching this, have a shake that is unexplained to them, and they're possibly panicking that it's Parkinson's, I would just say to them, please go to the doctor, because the truth is you are 8 times more likely to be suffering from an essential tremor than you are from Parkinson's. I mean, you should go to the doctor with Parkinson's anyway, because there's a lot more they can do now than they could 50 years ago. But nevertheless, 8 times more people have a tremor. And it doesn't kill you. It doesn't hurt. You know, it's a nuisance.
It's a nuisance, yeah.
It's tiresome, but I mean, there are plenty of things that are worse in the world that people have to put up with.
That's a great attitude.
Well, you know, you just have to live with it. Sometimes it's quite funny, actually. The other day I was in New York and I was at a dinner talking to a very distinguished Broadway director, Julian. And suddenly, to her surprise, I took my white wine up and threw it into my face and all over my suit. I was completely drenched. And I could see from her face thinking, do you often do that? But anyway, I did try to explain. But it is a question of getting it out there. I mean, that's why on Downton, in the last episode of the final series, the 6th series, we gave Carson an essential tremor.
I remember.
So he couldn't pour the wine. But even then, you know, the newspapers referred to it as Parkinson's because they didn't know it was a tremor.
Gosh, that's extraordinary. So it's so good that you are talking about this. And what sort of treatment can you get for it? And will it get worse? Or
well, there is a pill called propranolol or something, but it only works for about half the people who've got it. It doesn't work for me.
Okay.
I used to eat it like Rice Krispies, but it never made any difference at all. But they are developing. There's a very, very interesting new laser treatment, which they're now working on. And I believe, you know, all the authorities are getting behind. And that would be a huge step forward, but it's still in its comparatively early days.
But I think it's brilliant. And when you meet someone for the first time, or when you're, say, doing a talk, or, you know, obviously Downton is global, so you're all around the world talking about Downton. Do you volunteer the information first and let people know?
I do now. At the beginning, you know, you go through phases with these things. And at the beginning, I was sort of in denial. First of all, I was completely in denial. Oh, I must have been not slept enough last night.
Too much coffee.
Too much coffee. Oh, I've got to lay off. And then I went to a specialist, and he, gratifyingly to me, said, no, this is what you've got. It's incurable. You'll probably never get rid of it, and so on, which I much prefer. Because then you know what you're dealing with.
Indeed.
But then nobody ever mentioned it, and so I thought because nobody ever mentioned it, nobody noticed. And finally, my wife, Emma, said, you must say at the beginning, because everyone is looking at you thinking either he's drunk or he's terrified. Whereas if you say right at the start, I've got this tremor, then they sort of don't care anymore. So now I do that. I don't mistake silence for not noticing.
And it hasn't stopped you, for goodness sake. I mean, you're so, you know, there's the Downton movie. Are we going to get another one? Please say yes. Say yes. Just say yes. We're going to get another movie. If we can get everybody together.
It was, I wouldn't say bewilderingly successful, because I thought it was jolly good. But it was rather exciting. We were in America for the opening there, and it opened at #1 and beating all these major film stars' movies, you know, all of whom are marvellous. And that was very thrilling. I mean, I can't pretend it wasn't. It was very exciting and thrilling.
So do it again, or at least give us a Christmas special or something. Mind you, you are really busy. You've got loads of projects. I know Belgravia, we're all looking forward to that.
And then I've got The English Game coming out on Netflix, which is about football in the 1870s.
Wow, that sounds great. And I think people just love the world that you create, especially right now when things are so awful, that people just want to, they just want to wallow in this amazing world that you've created
A little
for us.
bit of escapism.
Totally escapism, absolutely. That's
Well,
what
I
we
mean,
want.
I know people sort of
You
charge
owe
me
it to
with
us,
that.
Julian, to do another movie, basically.
Well, I do feel that one job of the entertainment industry is to entertain.
Indeed, yes.
I know it sounds very
You mad
old-fashioned.
fool. I know. It's true. So
But,
you must.
anyway, no, I've been very lucky, really. I mean, I've managed to keep going.
You have, and you will. And I'm so glad that you came on and talked about this because, it's not life-threatening. It's just something that you get on with and you just have to deal with it.
And you deal with it. I mean, I have, for instance, a silver straw for times when I don't want to move the glass or the cup.
And you don't want it to go all over you.
And I don't want to throw it over myself on a daily basis.
Indeed. And I love that you've got a sense of humour about it as well, because I think that's really important. It really is. It's the only way to get through it in some ways.
Well, I mean, I don't think one must exaggerate how important these things are because almost everyone has to live with something.
That's true. That's very true.
If it's only their mother-in-law, and so there's no point in thinking anyone is leading a perfect life because nobody is.
No, that's true. That's very true. Keep doing what you're doing and give us that second movie. Get the gang together again.
I'll do
Thank you
my
so
best,
much.
Gov.
Thank you.